I hear you loud and clear, boss.
All on Front Street with me, Jaguar, Wright, and Wolfgang Amadeuz is where truth takes center stage and no topic gets tucked away. This unapologetic, unfiltered podcast puts the real out front. Conversations that matter, stories they don't want told, and voices the mainstream tries to silence. From entertainers and authors to influencers, journalists, and independent business owners. No guest is off limits, and no conversation is too raw. If it's shaking culture, exposing industry games, or breaking generational curses, it's all going on Front Street. Expect bold interviews, streetwise commentary, behind-the-scenes revelations, and moments that'll make you laugh, gasp, or rethink everything you thought you knew.
That's dope.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You are on Front Street. Put your ass on blast, no cannon. What up? What up?
Nothing. Just sitting over here, humming under my breath, thinking about that midnight flight to Bali.
Oh, damn. No, that riff sound dope though. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's so funny. Like, I hear people refer to me as so many different things. I don't ever consider myself a former anything or a retired anything. I just am what I am. So it's nice when I get acknowledged for, one of my gifts.
Yeah, nah. I mean, there's no has been, wanna be, none of that. You know what I'm saying? You are what you are. Can't nobody deny that, So
you want to know what's wild? I remember once upon a time, like, there's nothing that I wouldn't have done to be able to stay in the graces of the right people, to just keep doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, there's nothing they could get me to do to want to stay in their good graces. Like, I want to just be able to do me. And to not have to worry about having to answer to stuff that I don't believe in or live up to things that ain't real. And that's wild, because here we are putting it all out on Front Street. And there's a lot of things going on that just seem to be like hella unreal right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, is it you or is it me, or is it breaking news or breaking wind or what?
No, that's what it is right now. I guess right now it's just a whole bunch of there's a lot going on. Let's just start with this right now. Look, and it seems like we're in the damn twilight zone, but is this the end for hip hop? Now, I say that because BET, basically Viacom, Paramount, they announced that they're indefinitely suspending the BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards.
Can I be honest?
Not the Soul Train Awards, too.
The Soul Train. And it sounds like it's all going down the drain.
Oh, man, that's messed up.
No, I mean, like, for real. Look, I can't even remember the last time I watched any of these shows.
Nah,
More
me too.
importantly, I can't even remember anybody who's really down for the culture, who really believes in the art forms and the true artists behind the game that even watch these things. It all became like a part of the pop culture milieu or whatever, And yeah, like, bon voyage as far as I'm concerned. The question is, what drove it to that point?
Yeah. I'm under the impression that the powers that be have said, hey, you know what? Hip hop, we no longer need you. And I'm talking about all these people who participated in the, the Hip Hop 50, the ceremony.
Oh, that was so whack. That was so whack.
Yeah.
Can we just take a second and say, you know what I mean? Like, rest in peace to the 50th anniversary of hip hop that totally just got trashed with all of their fake stats and with all of their lack of true acknowledgement and all of the, the circle jerk. It was a mess. I didn't even like watching it, honestly, because all I could do was sit there and look at all of the people that were supposed to be there, all of the people that should have been on it, and for that alone, I'm glad it's being discontinued. Yep. May the ghost of hip hop past be the reason why all of this is gone.
Well, yeah, it's a good thing, I think, because that opens up a lane for the real culture. Hip hop has never been the commercial side. I think people get things twisted and they think, record sales is what make hip hop, or how much money you got is what makes you important in hip hop, when the true culture really is just about how you represent. You know what I'm saying? What you represent. How dope are you? So if you talk about someone like a KRS-One, he's knowledgeable on a lot of things, and he does what he does. You got someone like a dope graph artist. How does this person represent the culture? It's gonna be different from another graph artist. You get what I mean? So it never was about how much money you got, or I'm a billionaire and I'm married to another billionaire. It never was about all that. That's get out of here with that bullish, right? Yeah, man. So it's a good thing.
They set a false standard. They set a false standard that never existed, and they got people to cooperate with this false standard. What I remember most about hip hop, just to piggyback on what you were saying, was the purity. When I think of purity and hip hop, I think of Rakim.
Oh yeah.
When I think of purity in hip hop, I think of DMX. When I think of purity in hip hop, I think of Big L. When I think of purity in hip hop, I think of Malik B. Like, when I think of real MCs and how far rappers have gotten from the art of lyricism, like, seriously, like, it used to be all about how tight your lyrics were, not how tight your jeans were. It used to be all about, how fluid you could be in your vernacular, switching from one beat to another, from one, flow to another, and now it's all about whose pants you're flowing in and out of, whose private parts you're in and out of. Like, it's nothing that we grew up knowing and honoring. And for real, the hip hop community, that was our church, that was our alternative religion, and now here we have all of these false standards. So I agree with you, but my thing is what does being a billionaire have to do with being an amazing artist?
Nothing. And that's the thing. That's the thing. That's why I say it's a good thing, because the corporatization of hip hop, it's pretty much, it's done. It's a wrap. And this is a sign that it's done. Now I'll also go on record and say I also see the correlation between Donald Trump getting that Viacom. Now, if you guys don't know, BET is owned by Viacom. Yeah. Donald Trump and Paramount, right? Donald Trump got rid of a lot of the DEI stuff, right? He got rid of all that DEI stuff. Paramount was on his target because he sued Paramount. Let me not say something that's not factual, right? So let me do the research real quick. Donald Trump, in his case with
No, I thought I heard something about that. I thought I heard that he sued and he won.
Yeah, yeah, I think he did win. He won a settlement.
Yeah, because right after that, what was it? The Stephen Colbert Show got canceled because he
Yeah,
said some wild stuff about Trump, and I guess it didn't go over too well.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah, I didn't want to say anything that was incorrect. So there was a legal battle that Trump and Paramount just settled. So Trump had sued CBS, and that's owned by Paramount, and he sued them for alleging deceptive editing of a 60 Minutes interview that featured the then Vice President Kamala Harris, and this was back in October 2024. The lawsuit claimed Trump had claimed that CBS deceptively edited the interview to boost Harris's election chances, and he demanded $20 billion. $20 billion. So CBS denied the accusations, and they just said the editing adhered to television standards. Legal experts said that the lawsuit was baseless. So Paramount, though, agreed to pay $16 million to settle the lawsuit. I don't know why they would pay. Now, this $16 million went to Trump's future presidential library, and it covered his legal fees. Paramount stated the settlement doesn't include an apology or an acknowledgement of wrongdoing. So the settlement occurred in the midst of Paramount seeking approval for its merger with Skydance Media. I've seen Skydance Media around sometime before. And it required FCC to approve it, the merger or whatever. Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, they sent a letter inquiring about the possible side deal and whether bribery laws were broken. And it was also about the timing of the cancellation of the Steve Colbert Show, that like what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because South Park, they released an episode a couple of weeks back, their new season, and they went in on Trump and they were clowning. Now they got a settlement, not a settlement. They agreed to put South Park out there, and it, I think they had a deal where it was on HBO as well, but it was some type of deal that they had with Paramount before, where they had like longer versions of South Park that were just supposed to be exclusively on Paramount. Now they went ahead and inked the deal for $1.5 billion to exclusively release their content on Paramount. And they did like a big middle finger to Paramount and Trump on their first episode. And I saw it. I kind of didn't see it, but I saw it and I was just like, oh yeah, they clowning. They basically, it's wild. It's wild. But I'm putting on my tinfoil hat and I'm saying, yeah, I think this has something to do with this whole thing with Trump's legal battle with Paramount and why all of a sudden we are no longer having the Soul Train Awards or the BET Hip Hop Awards.
Well, let's just be clear. A lot of the people that probably would have been appearing at these award shows were also campaigning for Kamala Harris. And a lot of them got paid. So I don't know. When you think about it, they were really relying on hip hop to bring home the Democratic vote. Like, when you look at everybody that they had campaigning, when you look at everybody that was present, and it's just wild because I was, doing a little research and listening to an interview that the Diddler had did when Trump was running a few years back. And he has some real cold-blooded things to say. And it's wild because The Breakfast Club dug this up after Charlemagne just went back and forth, going back and forth with the president. For what reason? I do not know. But they pulled this whole thing up. And Diddy is sitting there talking about how Trump was like, it was the end of civilization, and that if people voted for him, it was going to be a race war, and Trump was inciting race wars, and it was vote or die, and we better do this because the white man is doing this, like all of this wild stuff, talking about we cannot let him back in the office. Like he was going so hard for the Dems. He was going so hard for the Dems. And now, like all of their little monuments are just falling down. It's really wild.
Yeah. No, this is interesting. Like I say, I look at it, this vacuum that's happening. We'll see who's going to fill it or who's going to fall out, and we'll see. But no more BET awards, hip hop awards.
Definitely, yeah.
No more Soul Train awards. Somebody attributed, I think Dewan B. He attributed to Fat Joe. He said Fat Joe was the bad curse.
Look, the curse of Fat Joe and all of that, or is it the curse of Big Pun? But rest in peace and long live Big Pun. Always a player in this life and the next. But I mean, the truth is I'm not mad. Like the Soul Train Awards, like I'm not interested in seeing who they're going to be asking to host. I'm not. It was the same old people. It was the same people involved in the same kind of crap. It was the same kind of gatekeeping going on. And it really wasn't given to the culture at all. I mean, truth be told, do we need any more gatekeeping award ceremonies? Isn't the Grammys enough?
Yeah, I think so. All right. I do. I think so. Well,
rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
To the Soul Train. That lacks so much soul at the end. Like it really did lack a lot of soul and a lot of class. Like I hate to see what's happened to our culture, because honestly it makes me I feel like those old people that, oh man, back in the good old days, and it's just I feel like that now, because it's everything that we see is so unreal. It's just unreal, and it's wild. But yeah, rock on, Viacom.
Well, I think us starting something with cruelty free would be a good time right now to start getting, and cruelty free doesn't necessarily have to be all hip hop. It's just, something
cruelty-free artistry is exactly what it is, and there's more to artistry, than one form. There's so many different access, points to art, whether it's painting, whether it's digital art, whether it's dancing, all the different forms of free expression. Just, I really am looking forward to being able to take that construct and turning it into a place where you don't have to worry about a Grammy Awards. You don't have to worry about a Soul Train Awards. You don't have to worry about, BET Hip Hop Honors and the BET Awards. And like they got rid of all of these other award shows. I would say get rid of the BET Awards along with it. Like anybody who's not seeing all of the demon time symbolism that they doing, everything dipped in blood red, a bunch of vampires running around, it looks like all of this stuff is crazy. It's crazy, and everybody knows it's crazy. But for whatever reason, especially our people, we seem to be bewitched and mesmerized by all of this nonsense. Man, what I wouldn't give for cruelty free to just become that space where people can say, you know what, I just want to focus on my art.
Yeah.
I just want to do that. Like I was just talking about Black Lily the other day when we were having that conference call, and I was thinking about how dope that was. And I started thinking back to Lollapalooza and thinking back to the Smoking Grooves tour, stuff like that. Like all just eclectic, real awesome art. And it wasn't, it wasn't all this other stuff. Man, I did an interview and they were asking me what I thought about hip hop. And I was like, for someone who loves hip hop as much as I do, and as beloved as hip hop is to me, it's painful. It's good to see people making money, and it's good to see people getting paid, and it's great to know that people can become millionaires or multimillionaires or even a billionaire now, doing this art form. But at what cost? And I said, once upon a time, hip hop was like an exclusive club, like a like it was a tree house, you know what I mean, in the woods, and it was a place where only certain people knew how to get to it. And then as it grew and as it grew and as it grew, it changed, and we started seeing all different kinds of people coming in and out of the clubhouse. And then somebody said, you know what, we don't need to do a tree house anymore. We're going to do it in a penthouse over here in this hotel. And then it got really corporate and it got really sterilized. And now I don't think any of us recognize what hip hop is anymore. And the truth is, hip hop and rap are two different things altogether now. Like I don't even feel comfortable with calling a lot of this stuff hip hop. Let's just call it the rap thing or whatever the case may be. But I would love it, man, if cruelty free could become a construct where hip hop can live again, in that awesome place, in that raw space where it's really just about fellowship and inspiration. I can't remember the last rapper that I listened to that actually inspired me. But
rest in peace to the old corporate, greedy, nasty version that they called hip hop, and this is a rebirth of the real hop. Let's just say it like that. All right.
I like that, real hop.